Bonjour! Here is our lesson for today. Write and solve proportions. Okay, so yesterday we talked about what proportions were. So it's a mathematical statement with two ratios that are equal to one another. And then we're going to use cross products to solve them. And by cross products means we're going to multiply the numerator of one ratio by the denominator of another ratio. And then we're going to divide it by the other known number that is opposite the unknown. Okay, and we have a lot of reasons that we use proportions. Okay, I'm going to go on to example 1, and we have 3 parts of example 1. Okay, in example 1 we have to write and solve a proportion. So the first thing we have to do is write the proportion. In order to write the proportion, we want to make sure that we set up our information so that it's consistent. This is similar to what we did with equivalent ratios. So in the example A, Ben Wyatt burned 210 calories in 30 minutes rollerblading at a birthday party. How many calories would he burn if he rollerblades 60 minutes? So we're going to set up the proportion. In order to do that, we have to look at which two categories we're comparing. We're comparing calories and minutes. So I'm going to write calories and minutes. So those are our two categories. This is going to help keep my information consistent. The first ratio is the information given to me. 210 calories, 30 minutes. So we have our calories and we have our minutes in our first ratio. That is equal to our second ratio, which is what we're finding. How many calories would he burn if he were to rollerblade for 60 minutes? The minutes is in the bottom, the denominator, so I'm going to put the 60 in the bottom. The unknown, I'm just going to put a variable. That is my unknown. Now that I've set up my proportion, I'm going to solve my proportion. To use cross products, I multiply the numerator of one by the denominator of the other. So 210 times 60 equals 12,600. Then I divide it by the other number, 12,600 divided by 30, and that's going to equal 420. So my answer is 420 calories. We always want to make sure that we define our answer. Okay, let's work on B. 8 folders cost $4. So we're comparing money and folders. So I'm going to put money on top. I'm going to put the folders on the bottom. If in your mind you do it the other way, no big deal. You'd get the same answer. So for my example, since I put money on top, I'm going to put the $4 on top, and I'm going to put the 8 folders in the denominator. For my other ratio, it says if your sibling needs 5 folders, how much would it cost? So the 5 folders is going to go in the denominator because 8 and 5 represent the folders. So I'm going to put the X, the unknown amount of money that we need. I multiply the 2 that I know. So I'm going to do 4 times 5, that's going to equal 20. And then I'm going to divide it by the other number. 20 divided by 8 is 2.5. Now I have to know how to write that as an answer. For money, since cents is involved, I have to have 2 digits after the decimal point. So this would be $2.50. The 0 goes after the 5. Okay, we can add zeros after the 5. Okay, for C, Buddy the Elf used an elevator to go up 80 floors in 45 seconds. So I'm going to compare floors to seconds. So 80 floors over 45 seconds. Okay, in the Empire State Building, how many floors can the elevator travel in 9 seconds? So the 9 is going to go in the denominator with the 45. The X is going to go in the numerator, that's the unknown. I multiply these two numbers here. 80 times 9 is 720. And I'm going to divide it by the other number. 720 divided by 45 is 16. So my answer would be 16. How many floors? 16 floors. Make sure you have the correct labels for each one. If you're not sure about the label, the question tells you how many floors, how many calories, how much the cost. Okay. If you need to go back and watch anything else, go ahead. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.